2020 wasn't the best year for a lot of people, and for some celebrities it was very damaging to their careers. But this came from bad decisions and controversial scandals. I'm your host for this one, Joss Bedard, and today on Beyond the Screen, we are talking about celebrities who destroyed their career in seconds in 2020, part 3. Kicking off our countdown at number 10 is Shia Labeouf. He has had some rough patches in his career in the past, but 2020 may have been one of the worst ones yet. Near the end of the year, his ex-girlfriend FKA Twigs sued him and accused him of sexual battery, assault, and infliction of emotional distress. Her lawsuit was filled with very serious claims, saying that he hurts women and that he is very dangerous. Shia responded to the claims and admitted that he has been abusive towards himself and others in the past, but denies the allegations within the lawsuit. A lot of people aren't taking these claims lightly and are waiting to see what comes from the lawsuit in 2021. His lawyer recently released a new statement asking for the battery allegations to be dismissed. His team said the alleged conduct was reasonably necessary for his self-defense and/or safety. They want the case to be thrown out entirely and for him to actually be compensated for the claims and the defamation that it is causing on his career and reputation. Next up at number 9 is Lori Loughlin. Laughlin. I literally guess every time. One bad decision ended up with her being locked behind bars, and she's a celebrity that no one expected this from. In 2020, the Full House actress got herself sentenced behind bars from a case that actually started a year earlier. In 2019, she had been caught in a college admission scandal where she paid $500,000 to forge test scores for her daughters to get an early admission. She wasn't the only one though. Both she and her husband were facing charges for conspiracy to commit mail fraud, money laundering, and bribery. All the charges followed them into 2020, and it wasn't until then that they were actually given their sentences. Lori was sentenced to 2 months in prison, given a $150,000 fine, 2 years of supervised release, and has to complete 100 hours of community service. It's hard to imagine what her career will look like once she is out. I personally just can't imagine it ever being the same. Sliding into number 8 is Harvey Weinstein. Let's be honest, he ruined his career a long time ago, but his massive scandal finally came to an end in 2020. His sexual harassment case started back in 2017 when the New York Times published a story detailing decades of allegations against him. Some of the terrible claims came from his employees, and some came from other actresses in Hollywood like Rose McGowan and Ashley Judd. Throughout 2017 to 2020, more and more allegations came to surface, and he of course started to lose his career and reputation, as he should. It was a long legal battle that was heavily documented, and people were waiting for him to finally get his sentencing. That moment finally came in 2020, and he is currently serving his 23-year term in prison. Sniping the number 7 spot is Lil Wayne. Speaking of jail time, this rapper almost faced some, but then he got pardoned. So we're still kind of waiting to see if his career will bounce back from it or not. I honestly have no idea. It wasn't his first time being in trouble with the law or behind bars for that matter. What happened was he was found in possession of a handgun at an airport back in 2019, but he didn't get arrested for it until 2020. He was charged with 1 count of possessing a firearm and ammunition by a convicted felon. Yes, he is a convicted felon. He had felony charges from incidents that happened before this. He was out on bail and was waiting for a sentencing hearing on January 28th, 2021, and at that time he was facing up to 10 years in federal prison, but got saved by former President Donald Trump. Before he left the White House, he released a slew of pardons, and Lil Wayne was on that list. So there's a chance that his career will be okay, but he definitely has done some damage. Coming in at number 6 is Jada Smith. Personally, I think her career will be just fine, but it depends how emotionally invested you are with her relationship to husband Will Smith. 2020 was weird for them. They did an interview together, and the topic of Jada's affair came up. She had an affair with August Alsina years ago, but it started making headlines in 2020, and the couple went on Red Table Talk to talk about it. According to August, he and Jada had a had a romantic relationship with Will's permission. I doubt that, but that is not how it was explained by Jada and Will. She said that her and Will were separated at the time when she started dating August. She looks at the situation as being a big learning experience for her and something that made her marriage with Will stronger in the end. She said, "Through that particular journey, I learned so much about myself and was able to really confront a lot of emotional immaturity, emotional insecurity, and I was really able to do some deep healing." Fans were actually fuming and judged the situation very hard, making Jada the center of a lot of memes. I think that is between them and probably shouldn't affect her career, but a lot of people think it does. Halfway through the list, at number 5 is Carole Baskin. I mean, the debate on whether or not she killed her husband might be enough to end her career. It is actually still surprising to a lot of people that she even has a career after the Netflix documentary Tiger King: Murder, Mayhem, and Madness. After the documentary, no one expected her to skyrocket into fame the way that she did. She even landed a spot on Dancing with the Stars, and people were not happy about it. A lot of theories have come out on what really happened to her ex-husband, Don Lewis, ever since she was accused of murdering him or at least knowing what happened to him. He just suddenly disappeared without a trace and no explanation has ever been determined to this day. After Carole was eliminated from Dancing with the Stars, people online have said they hope she doesn't book anything like that ever again. I don't even know how she booked that in the first place. She's got a good agent. Rolling into number 4, we have Perez Hilton. Because he is the biggest celebrity blogger in the industry, he has had a very controversial career and has landed himself in trouble on a few occasions. But one bad decision ended with him being banned from the TikTok app in December of 2020. It happened out of nowhere after TikTok claimed his account was permanently banned because he repeatedly violated the app's rules. He tried to appeal the claims but was unsuccessful. He posted a YouTube video explaining his side of the story and said that he is devastated because he relied on the app in his career, but also that it was a big escape for him. He also admitted that some of his content has been flagged before for violating TikTok's rules against nudity and harassment, and also said he has been accused of bullying in some of his videos. So although he apologized and pleaded for his account to be reinstated, they would not do it. Taking over the 3rd spot is Belle Delphine. She has been in the hot seat many times for her sexual content, which many people don't agree with. So it's no surprise to her anymore when people try to cancel her. But things got really bad for her in November of 2020 when YouTube canceled her. Not the people, YouTube. Her YouTube account is a primary source of income for her and one of the biggest platforms in her career. So she was not happy when they terminated her channel without any kind of warning. She went on Twitter to publicly call out YouTube, saying it's not fair that her account gets striked for violating the sexual content policy, but music videos like WAP can be on the platform. She has a good point, in my opinion. But many people don't agree with her content being appropriate for this platform, especially because there are a lot of kids on YouTube. She ended up getting her channel back, but she is on very thin ice with them and had to make a lot of changes to her content, and a lot of her old videos were also flagged and taken down, so she can't make money off those anymore. In spot number 2 is Lea Michele. 2020 was not her best year. The Glee actress was exposed by some of her former co-stars who claimed that she made their filming experience a living hell. And it wasn't just some petty bickering, people were making claims that she had been racist towards them. It started with her former co-star Samantha Ware, who claimed that Lea threatened to go to the bathroom in her wig if she had the opportunity. After this tweet went absolutely viral, because that's disgusting, her other co-star Keith Power chimed in and said, "I co-sign on this. Lea Michele is a terrible human and has said terrible things to many different types of people, including racist aggressions to and about people." Lea didn't admit to any of these specific claims, but apologized for her behavior on set and said that she's done a lot of reflecting to become a better person. Her apology wasn't in person though, she actually typed it up on one of her Instagram stories. When it came to interviews about it, she always remained quiet on the subject. She would never just publicly apologize. Earning the number 1 spot is Meghan Markle. This one is up for debate right now, so it will depend on whose side you are on and what you believe to be true. Many people would say Meghan destroyed her career when she decided to walk away from the royal family last year. A lot of people didn't agree with her decision, but that was hers to make. In more recent times, she is facing a ton of heat right now after she and Prince Harry did an interview with Oprah where she exposed the royal family for being racist and cruel. Some of their claims were pretty serious, and Meghan revealed that they treated her so poorly to a point where she wanted to take her own life. Some people are defending defending her and her story, while others are calling her spoiled and privileged. It is very hard to say where her career will go from here. Everything is still very fresh and chaotic right now. Honestly, social media, like that's all I'm reading about right now. All right, guys, that is our part 3 list to end this video. I'm gonna do some comment shoutouts from celebrities who look completely different in real life. Part 6. MLG Gamer says, I miss the studio and Chris. Oh, I miss the studio too. And Chris. It's no fun filming alone. It's very different.
And now, MLG Gamer is my favorite guy now, so.
Oh, there you go. You're his biggest fan and he likes you. Jessa Wright says, I always tell my clients to never sleep on the same side of your pillowcase more than once. Sleep, flip, change. Bam. I told you, pillowcases is the #1 thing for skincare. Wash those pillowcases. YDNTK 2017 says, Lindsay is still hot. I actually think so too. Lindsay Lohan will always be pretty to me, and I feel like she got work done that she didn't need, because she was always very naturally pretty. The Mindless Tuber says, no one has ever looked like they do in real life except in real life. That is a fact. Honestly, don't even believe anything on social media unless you see them in real life. But even then, makeup and hair, you just never really know. All right, guys, that's all I got. I'm getting out of here. I was your host, Joss. I will see you in another one. Bye.